All right, everybody, we are going on a 4-hour ride. I'm really excited, kinda, because it's going to be super hot and it's going to be a heat index of 110 degrees. Got the gravel bike, got all kinds of fluids, Camelback, water, fuel, another fuel bladder inside the frame bag, and we're going to talk about the subtle art of not trying and letting things come to you, and also how that relates to zone 2 and how it all works out. So let's go. All right, things are pretty exciting today. I have the wind muffs. Let's see if they stay on, and let's see if we can stay away from snakes today. That place where I filmed that intro bit was terrible. A little bit more on our learning curve of how to video. There was a post there with a flat top, so I put the camera on top of it. And now I know that's not a good spot because the pedestrian traffic through there was just bad enough to have to stop and re-record 3 times, 4 times. Let's see, I had the wind cancellation set to auto, which I think helped, or didn't help, made it worse in previous recordings, because auto means on and off, you know, as it thinks. So I just said wind cancellation on. We'll try that for this ride, and next ride we'll try it off and see if this ride doesn't sound good. And also with all the rain, that corner I was in, there was no wind because it was such a pretty spot, but it's heavily treed. I would say forested, but there's a bunny rabbit. The mosquito, you know, wind helps blow mosquitoes away. I started getting eaten alive by mosquitoes between shots. So I finally got it, or enough of it, version 3. I said, F it, let's go. And then immediately got stuck at a traffic intersection. Had to pause all over again. So I've noticed I've been letting my front tire run lower and lower, and PSI by not airing it up before rides. And my ride a couple days ago was so smooth in the front, and that was around 22 PSI. So I pumped it back up to 25. I got some rattling here because I got a full water bottle on my Aeroburst. So that'll get better in a little bit. So I pumped it up to 25, and then we'll see if 25 seems to be nice, because 24 was getting pretty squirmy. Well, I was worried it was going to be squirmy. So zone 2 training. Oh, also I've decided we're going to talk about Zen up front because this camera runs out of battery right in the middle, which I also think is kind of funny. There's nothing more Zen than that. Well, just when you have an expectation, it just cuts off. And be like, now what? That's true Zen. It's just when you think you've got it it changes. And now what? What do you do? And that reveals your true character. What do you do when things aren't working out the way you thought they were? I think this is my first time riding down this trail after all the rain. Lots and lots and lots of rain. So the erosion is going to be a little different, little washouts and stuff. But anyway, okay, I think we covered the basics. Well, another basic is we're going downhill generally, and that's good for warm-up to start off. A lot to prevent injuries. See, that got a little rougher right there. So the first 20 minutes of your ride, hey buddy, that's a Great Pyrenees, can be generally downhill if you can help it, or with a tailwind. And then you've built your warm-up into your ride. Let's see, what's a good path? Oh, right here. And then after your heart rate and your watts are kind of up to where they need to be, which takes anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes, then I hit lap on my watts. And then the wattage I watch for the rest of the ride, if it's a training ride, is those watts. I've thrown out the beginning where I haven't been trying very hard, just been kind of loose and warming up. Okay, I think we got a lot of that out of the way now. So with the history of Zen, oh, I did not mean to go this way. Oh. The history of Zen has a lot of things have a natural flow that you can't win against. If you want to make your life more enjoyable, quit struggling against things. And so you identify the flow of things and then work with the flow. And kind of like this warm-up, right? There's a natural flow of downhill, so I'm going to use that as my warm-up, and I'm not fighting against it uphill. And if you pay attention, you start noticing where these things are and how to use them. That's one thing. But another thing is between those, and while you're learning, but also between, is patience. Opportunities will come to you if you practice patience. Patience is huge in Zen. And got a nice little turnaround here. And we will be right back with some more off-road. Oh, is the wind out of the north? Oh, wow. Okay. All right. We are going into some single track right here. It should be fun. Dark single track with sunglasses on. And I still haven't fixed my rear brake. So I'm basically riding with just the front brake. But it kind of relates to like how I'm filming these videos. I've learned this. It's pretty obvious. Like okay, on this video we're going to try this, and when this doesn't work, we're going to be patient. Because if I tried to figure it out all at once, dude, the amount of screw ups, like if I judged myself so hard on how much I was screwing up, I'd give up. But I'm like, okay. Kaizen is the K-A-I Zen, all one word, is the art of little increments of improvement, and they add up. And got my map on. I don't want that. And when they add up, you know, you just be patient and don't try so hard, is what we're talking about. There's a practice in Zen of try not trying, right? Or try not thinking. It's a prank. It's a joke when they say to meditate and don't think of anything. They already know this. You can't. And so students come back and they say, oh, I'm so, and people think that they're failing at meditation because they're not supposed to think of anything. And that's not the drill. The drill that you're supposed to be doing is try not to think of anything, and then notice that no matter what, buddy rabbit, that no matter what, thoughts still come up. And you can't stop it. And then the lesson is, even if you try to stop thinking, you will still be thinking. Trying to not try is still trying. Get it? So it just doesn't work. And then what you do is, over time, you learn that when you're trying to not think and you're sitting there meditating, if you want, that basically just trying to be quiet, what you really do is you let thoughts arise without trying to control them, and then you acknowledge them. And what happens is if you acknowledge them, maybe write them down even, they go away. They're there to harass you. Okay, I'm gonna pause the camera here. Okay, I thought these were kids, it's all right. Hello. 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 I need a bell. I've had bells and then they rust. We're gonna do something fun here. So the real art is to when thoughts come up, not hold on to them like they're real. You acknowledge them and then they kind of go. And then you can go back to what's actually important in life, whatever it is. Instead of worrying about a future that hasn't happened yet, and trying to change a past that you can't do anything about, is a saying. And we are off the trails. I'm going to turn the mic off, save the battery, turn the camera off. I pause so it doesn't do it automatically. Save the battery, and we'll come back with a little bit more on how it relates to Zone 2 training. How about that? Be right back. All right, look who found me.
You look like you're going really slow.
Your observations are right, Mr. Furry Legs.
Yeah.
So you're on a road bike.
Yeah.
and we're standing in the shade by a trailer park. So how many miles have you gone so far?
35.
Yeah. What's the workout?
Just 3.5 hours.
Just easy? Endurance?
So zone 2.
What's your zone 2?
148 to 156 heart rate.
Watts? Oh, heart rate.
Heart rate.
Messing with you.
Uh-huh.
All right, well, cool.
Where are you
You
going?
I'm gonna do the 2 roads here.
Okay.
In this subdivision, and then cut over and then go south on 6, and then do that dirt road that goes by the red barn.
Okay.
Which way are you going?
I'll do I already did one of the roads and this road, but I'll do them again with you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, here we go with Kai. How's that bike working out for you?
Good. I wish the tires were a little bigger.
Yeah, what are you running? 25s?
Yeah.
Look at him go. Got the rear radar. He's riding mechanical SRAM red and caliper brakes. And there he goes. All right, we'll be back in a little bit. All right, look who found me.
You look like you're going really slow.
Your observations are right, Mr. Furry Legs.
Yeah.
So you're on a road bike,
Yeah.
and we're standing in the shade by a trailer park. So how many miles have you gone so far?
35.
Yeah. What's the workout?
Just 3.5 hours.
Just easy? Endurance?
So zone 2.
What's your zone 2?
148 to 156 heart rate.
Watts? Oh, heart rate.
Heart rate.
Messing with you.
Uh-huh.
All right, well, cool.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna do the 2 roads here.
Okay.
In this subdivision, and then cut over and then go south on 6, and then do that dirt road that goes by the red barn.
Okay.
Which way are you going?
I'll do I already did one of the roads and this road, but I'll do them again with you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, here we go with Kai. How's that bike working out for you?
Good. I wish the tires were a little bigger.
Yeah, what are you running? 25s?
Yeah.
Look at him go. Got the rear radar. He's riding mechanical SRAM red and caliper brakes. And there he goes. All right, we'll be back in a little bit. All right, about to go down the dirt red road, saying bye to Kai. Definitely riding slower on purpose because of the heat. All right, see you later. I said goodbye to Kai and I go, have fun. And he goes, okay, have fun being slow. The wind muffs seem to be staying on. Oh, if you watched my last biking video, not the flashlight video, then you might remember that I pressed the record button too long and it deleted a huge section of the video. I mentioned it during that. And that was another thing that I did. Get in the shade. Oh, let's get in the middle where there's a bit of a ridge. Y'all can't tell it, but that's sloped off to the side there. got some holes right here. Okay, it looks like center right, except for that right there was hole free, so it'd be center left on the way back. But anyway, when I was filming the intro video, I filmed the first one perfectly. And then I held down the record button to stop it, to pause it. And I held it down too long, and it deleted the whole thing. Made me think a while ago, I should do a video of just everything that went wrong. I should do like, just title it, everything that goes wrong on a bike ride. Like a 3-hour ride or 4-hour ride. I just list it out because it's endless. Really teaches you tenacity. I got a rock in my shoe right now. How about that? Catch me outside. The video that I did doing the box opening of that Olight, a lot of stuff went wrong. I was like, screw it, dude. You either got to make stuff, or you got to ship, you know, ship it. You learn from shipping. No snakes yet. I was thinking that was a snake right there. But I did have it was either a coral snake or the it's called the Texas milk snake, that looks identical, has a different alternating pattern, but the colors are the same. I saw that crossing the road. And did you know that a coral snake is not a pit viper? It's actually a family of the cobra. And that's why they're so venomous, but they are not. They don't have fangs. They have to chew on you. And that's why they're not that dangerous. They have a little tiny mouth. But if you get bitten badly enough, you are messed up. I need some water. The heat's starting to build up. Let's do a fuel check. I got some funny stuff about my fuel. I'm out of my, I use Liquid IV with caffeine. There's the pineapple flavored one, has caffeine in it, 100 milligrams. Oh wait, center left, no holes. Woo! Made it. And this this morning, Kylie's girlfriend keeps drinks at our house, Kai's girlfriend, Kylie. And she buys carbonated drinks, 0 calories, but they have 200 milligrams of caffeine. So they're kind of like Red Bulls that don't taste like death. And I mixed that into my fuel. The joke I said one time is they make me feel pretty and sparkly because they're carbonated and they're caffeinated, and there's a nice fruit flavor to them. So that's in my fuel of 350 to 400 calories per hour. Whew. To deal with the heat, I'm coasting the downhills more than usual. Right from the beginning. It's barely any slower. And then I'm noticing and relishing anytime that I get a nice breeze over the body. We're gonna do a bunch of heat tips here in a minute. I need to finish up the Zen talk. which we will have when we come right back. All right, while we're out here, we got a little bit of tailwind and it's nice, except for the freeway. Drink some water. So I wasn't really sure which came first. I thought about it. I think the Zen study while bike riding, listening to Zen lectures, came first. And it had to do with all the stuff I just told you about. You think that'll stay on? I doubt that'll stay on. That'd be cool if it stayed on. We'll see. That's not gonna stay on. And about just letting things unfold and whatever. And then I started learning, there's a lot of Zone 2 talk right now. Dude, it is so old. I interviewed Phil Maffetone, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. So, twice or something. But for like Zone 2 training and just be patient, do lots of volume, and the fitness will come to you by being patient. And it's a different type of fitness because to finish a long race, you need to stay in Zone 2, right? You need to keep your RPMs kind of low if that's your heart rate, or else you're gonna blow up. So the more you train in Zone 2, the faster you get at it. Your mitochondria slowly, if you wait for them to come to you, you grow more and more mitochondria that are better and better at being diesel engines. But it takes time, and you can't rush it. Like the seasons, you can't make spring come right after fall. You got to do winter first, So there's a timing. So I knew this about Zen, and then I started practicing it to help me handle the Zone 2 on the bike and double up on the meditation and thinking time. We're getting the headwind, so I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, it's not so bad right here. And we can drink some water. I need to wash my bike. Bottom bracket's creaky because there's dirt in and around it. Anyway. So I would start doubling my time. And I remember people were like, you need to sit and meditate. They go to a Zen center and they meditate for hours on end. Or let's just say an hour. And that was considered amazing, for an average person. And I'm like, dude, try not trying. Yes, try getting on a bike and not trying. And also, if a thought comes to you, not holding on to it. And it works. It's like the most beautiful meditation practice out there. Because one of the other things, you're practicing so much stuff. And one of them is ego. Letting others pass you that are faster than you, especially on Zwift. Turning off your average watts and your average speed. Average watts maybe, but your current watts don't really matter so much. And like your miles per hour, yeah, that doesn't matter. What you're really doing is trying to not try. and it works. And I remember I went, the whole game is to be really fast at a lower heart rate, a whole lot more power at a lower heart rate, by training your mitochondria to do so. And we're just coasting here. I'm gonna turn this off. It really works. Because I remember riding with a friend, and we used to have the same metrics. And then a few months later, after doing this, look at this big vine hanging right here. Watch a snake fall out of the tree. After a few months, I was doing like 250 watts at 125 beats per minute or something. And he was still doing 210 watts at 155, 160 beats per minute, like I used to do, you know? So it works. All right, be right back. All right, we are back. I just put on some sunscreen. I'm all nasally because I got snot in my nose. There you go. I keep it down in there. I'll wait till it's about 10 o'clock, then it's actually useful. Putting on sunscreen early in the morning, it just rinses off. You've wasted your money and there's not that much sun yet anyway. Let's see, we are an hour and 36 in, so I need to power down a little bit more fuel. That's about right for a 2-hour bottle. I feel pretty now. And yeah, that's the end of, there was a water bladder in here. I put it in there and now I've already drank that too. So I'm down that much and then 2 of these as far as fuel. I have not touched my Camelback yet. And I got a 2-liter Camelback and we're only an hour and a half in. So it should work out. Let's go ahead and get started here. We have the train going by. And we'll climb this hill and then turn off the mic because we're gonna have a headwind, I think. Oh, it feels good, a little breeze. You know when you stop and then you get soaked in sweat and then you start riding again, it feels so good. So then I noticed that like everything in life, if you quit rushing things, they come to you, and you quit stressing about it, it comes to you. And I was just listening to something the other day, you know, the practice of being patient, the subtle art of not giving an F, and doing things gently and whatever leads to better heart health. And there's a personality type, here's I'm one of them, that needs a reason to, well, I need to know a good reason to do something, and then I'm in. And I was like, oh, heart health, okay. And reducing stress is a good reason to do practice zone 2. And we'll come back, we'll talk a little bit about Dave Scott versus Mark Allen. And we'll be right back. All right, got a little bit less of a tailwind here. It's kind of a crosswind. So Dave Scott, who I love, especially, he was awesome, obviously so. And then also ate really healthy was one of his angles. Like lots of fruit, all kinds of stuff. So, but anyway, during Iron War, where they're running side by side, the years that Mark Allen was trying to beat him, it hadn't done Zone 2 training yet. Dave Scott would win. They'd run side by side, and then Dave Scott would pull away. At the end. And then Mark Allen did Zone 2 training so that he was doing the same speed or faster at a much lower heart rate. But by the way, Dave Scott had to go in for heart surgery very recently. I think from like a large heart aneurysm, something, a valve, whatever. And you can surmise the doctor said something, maybe, I think this doctor said something, allegedly, in Minecraft, that it was, you know, for years of doing hard training. And I thought it was funny, like somebody could make a terrible thumbnail or a meme or something with a picture of the Iron War and them running side by side. And it says one of these guys is running in Zone 2. The other guy is going to need heart surgery. That's pretty terrible, but it ain't just a thing. Oh, we do have a little bit of a headwind here. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. It was a big downhill. It was really windy. But it goes back to what I was talking about, that being patient and letting things come to you and not trying over time, little bit by little bit, you start to experience that things solve themselves. There's a saying, if you grip too tight, you get rope burn. And I especially noticed it because at work, at your day job, and then dealing with like family and stuff like bills and banks and cars and all that stuff, chores. Well, little things that just pop up is some things are not meant to be solved. Some things will solve themselves. And then other things will be solved way better if you do them at a better time than right now. And at least it's really relaxed. Very few things need to be handled right this minute. And then also, if you handle things immediately, because you have to think about it, you haven't really thought it all the way through. And working on something else and letting it stew in the back of your mind, how do I do this right? If you pause, in Buddhism they teach nirvana is the pause between stimulus and response. That's where you find heaven. And so, if you pause and think about it before you react, you go, oh, wait, I could balance my checkbook while I'm commuting home on the train. That's a good time to do that. So do it like right this minute. You know? Oh, the best time to talk to this family member that leads to frustration would be after a meal. People do that trick where on purpose they call right before they got to go do something if they don't want to talk to somebody for very long. That's kind of funny. That's just strategic thinking. I want to show y'all something too real quick while we're riding along here in the shade. If we do this Varia app, bam. So y'all can't hear it, but the phone connected to my rear radar, and it also shows the battery life on the top left. See that green battery on the top left? It means it's almost full. Because the Varia rear radar is notorious for having no really good battery indicator on it. And it matters, dude. It's your rear blinky light and your rear radar. Oh, this shade feels amazing. And then the other one I was going to show you, but you can just kind of imagine the same thing, is my power meter pedal. Let's go ahead and connect to it. Oh. It'll keep me going slow so I don't try too hard in this heat. Where are they? Which ones it is? Oh, here. There you go. Need to fix my phone screen. Oh, it's hotter out here. So it's like, are these your ones? And I'm like, yeah. And it's like, are these your ones? I'm like, yeah. Okay, now, it always takes longer with the right one. That's the battery life on my pedal. For the power meters in my pedal. And I didn't really notice, or I didn't think about it. I didn't use that, so I kind of came across it on accident. And I'm like, man, that is really handy to check on things. And I wanted to share that with people. That the other thing that app does for the rear radar is if you're listening to headphones, or maybe on the speaker of your phone, but it'll play the dings and dings that there's a car coming up behind you through your headphones. So if you have headphones on and you're listening to something, it'll overpower it and let you know, which is really cool. Boy, it is getting hot. We got a couple cars coming here. They're gonna have pick up some dust. I'm gonna cover up the lens. I'm trying to pause and cover up the lens. Let's try. I noticed by paying attention, which Zen teaches you to do, to pay attention and look for patterns. Humans are the ultimate pattern finding machine. I don't think this is a good idea right here. Oh wow, not sure what I'm gonna do. I'm on my road. Okay, what I'm gonna do is while I wait to figure this out, I'm gonna fuel and hydrate. See? I needed to stop anyway and drink that fuel. Let's see how far I can get down this road. When this road is dry, it's so fun, it's smooth. got mud ruts that are starting to get smoothed out. It's kind of fun. So you get your cycle off this road, I'd be like, am I not a Texan? Do I not bleed barbecue sauce? So yeah, if you let things come to you. Oh, so like I would be like, okay, everybody at work is overwhelmed. They really don't want to be there. They'd rather be, you know, riding their bike or whatever hobby they're into at the beach. And to be pushing on them for stuff that they haven't asked for is not a good strategy, I've learned. What I do is I put stuff out there and I say, okay, when you guys are ready, looks like this is just where they park their truck. See, I had it in my mind. There was a mass of murderers right here in their cars and they were gonna attack me. But I decided not to believe in my thoughts and let's go look for sure. Turns out I can ride this whole road. Yay! People, you know, discount a flat road. Say it's no good, you know, you need hills for training. But a flat road, one that's longer than this, but a flat road is actually really great because it gives you consistent resistance, which is good for building up stamina instead of the surging up and down, up and down. I have stuff ready to go. I'm always working on the background and having stuff ready to go. And I know about it, I study on it, I go to training on it because it's coming, you know, it's inevitable. So the better practice is to wait for you to ask for it. But the middle path is you let people know that you've got it. So, and you watch for signs that people want it. And then they decide, man, I need to do this. And that's a whole different environment. You know, when somebody wants to learn a skill, if you have a parent pressing hard over their kid to learn piano, and it makes them miserable, and it ruins that relationship, versus a kid that wants to learn piano. But what you do is you put them in the middle of other piano players, and they start thinking, man, I think I could do that. I could do that better than Billy, Sarah. That's what happens with the ultra marathon running. Go work or witness an ultra marathon at an aid station or at the main station, and you'll see people failing all over the place. And then you start thinking, I could do that. I wouldn't make that mistake. That's what Chris, my friend, did to me. I was like, oh, I could probably do this. Boy, this is getting hot. Hold on. There we go, in some shade. Out of the wind just a little bit. as well. So with zone 2, the whole thing is to not try. That's what I found, because you're naturally, you want to get really good and really fast at a low heart rate so that you can go long. You got to try not trying. You got to practice it. Because what people forget, it's just like swimming. If somebody crosses over too far, like this, you tell them, swim with your hand. I'll get here in the sun. Swim with your hand so it enters out to the right. And then what they do is they end up in the middle. If you're training too hard, and you're not training in zone 2 most of the time, you have a natural inclination to train in zone 3 and zone 4. So you need to try not trying and swimming over here, like what feels like zone 1, and it'll end up being zone 2. Because I promise you, what happens is after an hour or two, you get tired, and zone 2 starts to be real work. Okay, it's story time. Let's see. Heat. Now that we got some extra battery life, got all the Zen out of the way. So, heat index of 110 today. Super high humidity. Heat training is the new altitude training. It's kind of funny. I was joking with Kai off camera. Be careful. Well, one, to do heat training, you don't need to go all that hard. Actually, you go easy. It's just to be out in the heat. That's what works. Going hard in the heat, that makes you need too much recovery and you've ruined your training density. Just go easy in the heat. And it makes somewhere around 10% better, which is like doing steroids. Hold on, it's not rocket. And what it does is it trains your body to carry more fluid in your blood and in your body, your cellular level, and in your veins. Plasma. You're more watery. And you don't get dehydrated and stuff. And it's also cooling. Yeah. So anyway. All right. We had an abrupt finish to the video. Battery ran out again. This is my bike. It's 8:30 at night. Sun's about to go down. And we got lightning storms. So every once in a while we'll get a flash, have a little storm cell kind of going over us right here. But yeah, my bike is dirty, man, it's dirty. So it's gonna need a bath. But the point I wanted to talk about was that I did 67, let's say, miles, but 4 hours. The miles is kind of here or there because it's, you know, half gravel and stuff like that. So would have gone further if it was a pavement. Don't ever judge. And being bitten by mosquitoes. But anyway, I finished the ride feeling really great. Over 4 hours, I did 2-hour bottle of fuel, 2-hour bottle of fuel. That was water. And then I had a water, almost the equivalent of this in there. And then a 2-liter water bladder on my back. And then I went through almost 2 more water. I stopped and got water and I filled up this one all the way, and I filled up one of the empty fuel bottles all the way and drank the rest of that. So that is a lot of water. But I ended up feeling just great. And yeah, so let's get it up over here, see if we can get some lightning in here. But it's a real art to be able to go long in that heat of 100 and something degrees on my bike computer, and be able to finish feeling fine, pretty good. And we're going to talk about that in a future episode about all the cooling techniques that we use, but it's really, really nice. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging like I did before. Let's see if we could flash lightning or two in there. We might not. But, oh, dang it, it was right there. You almost did. Okay, we'll keep it pointed over there. And let's see, let's try not to get people's license plates in there. Oh.